Okay, good morning, Academy 55 premium members who are watching this live. Also, everybody watching the recording, good morning. It's 8 o'clock. Sorry, it's 5 to 8 on Friday, the 22nd of March 2024. It's a rather drizzly day where I am here in Cornwall, but drizzle. And yeah, it's a rather drizzly day. And here we are again. So what can we see? Right, okay, so what I've done is I have drawn up my imbalances as normal on the 4-hourly time frame. We have a lot of fair value gaps, what we call FVG imbalances up here where we know price needs to go eventually. Also, we have significant areas of interest to look at once price gets to these areas, if indeed they do. We've got other buy imbalance down here and various interest in the areas of interest to look at price if price ever gets to that situation. But as of right now, if you are around at 22 minutes past 7 this morning, a sell alert trend turn red. That's where the stop loss goes. Get into the trade there, you would have got your 2 to 1. We had a buy alert, but as you can see, nothing was green. And we had another sell alert, but hopefully you would have stayed out of this one because you would have recognized that we had a buy. And then the trend line is so close to the sell. But whatever it is, we had a buy alert flash up just then. Due to my rules, if the buy alert happens there, I can't take the trade like it's flashing there. Well, I couldn't take. I'm not going to take. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't take the trade anyway because we haven't got a green scenario. But if the buy alert flashes there, it's a watching brief. If it comes in there or at 8 o'clock, I will be taking the trade. So with that in mind, we'll be doing a little bit of housekeeping on your MT4. Make sure that you've got your trade assistant up and you're on the EUR USD on the 1 minute time frame. And also, hang on, I'll just stop sharing just for a minute because I've got to just double check that I am actually recording this. I think I am. Please bear with me. Nice to see so many people on today. I'm just doing a little bit of checking just to double check it's been recorded because all of these are recorded. But being in I am recording. Okay, I have a message there. All right, okay, so that's fine. Just double check. Doesn't harm to recheck. So going back to sharing the screens. Yeah, your MT4 is correct. Right, okay, so oh god, right, so oh my goodness me. Right, we have a situation where we have a large buy. I can put my line chart on. I can take this trade because the buy alert happened dead on 8 o'clock. Green. I'm going to wait for this is how quickly it can happen. Stop loss goes where the wave started to turn green. Now I can afford to wait just for a little bit more confirmation. This could be the quickest, could be a quick trade ever. You never know. Let's see what the next candle does. It might be coming to trick us all. 8 o'clock, we usually sometimes see a big candle. So I want to see what the second candle does, just for an extra bit of confirmation. And get a little bit further away from the stop loss. Because we got imbalance over here on that candle there. And indeed, I'm not jumping into things. Move away the line chart at the moment. Because if I'd have jumped into it, we would have been taken out. Look at that. Tricky buggers, aren't they? Sorry, I shouldn't say. It's not a technical term, is it? Yes, so right, we're out. Also, I noticed it would have been wrong for me because the trend line is still red. So the trend line would have saved us from getting into the trade. Things happened all rather quickly. One, I shouldn't have checked that I was recording. But yeah, the trend line is still protecting us, so I can put my line back on. And I can wait for the trend line to turn green. And then we could be in a buy trade. Stop loss would be there where the wave started to turn green. Why is that emitting? I don't understand. Right, okay, so right, the trend line has now turned green. So we are, I want to see a little bit more of volume going up before I'm comfortable with taking this, because that's less than 2 pips anyway from where the green wave started to turn green from the red. We can see a little bit of consolidation. We've got this big spike here. That's the buyer saying, come on, let's go. And the seller saying, no, 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 you don't. We're not ready yet. But we've got a green trend line. So it's all good to take a trade, but I just want extra confirmation that we are going to be going for a buy. So, and I want price to be up here really, so I can put my stop loss there, and then we can do this buy scenario if we ever get to that. Because I'm seeing consolidation, indecision, and indeed right, this is a different outlook again. Because if that comes down and envelops that, that pushes that parabolic SAR above price. So I, in effect, I'm unable to take the trade. So guys, showing a bit of patience, we haven't lost any money. And indeed, the parabolic SAR has flipped way up to there. So that means that if I was to take a buy, if a buy does happen, I'd have to wait till the price gets all the way up there to force that parabolic SAR down again. And assuming we have a green wave and all the right conditions, then I can take the buy. But not until then. So back to TradingView. And there we go, we see the same conditions there. So what happened as a potential trade just now? The trend line kept us out, which is good because it was red. and then we saw downward candles, selling candles, which would also keep us out of the trade. And now we're really out of the trade because technically the parabolic SAR is above. The waves turn back to red again. So it's as you were. So I can still, and with my own live trading rules, because the buy happened at 8 o'clock, the buy alert happened on the 8 o'clock candle, I can take a trade if we do get in that situation where way up here. But by doing that, the price is going to be ever so high, and it could be reacting off this imbalance here, just clicking into that before going back down again. So tricky conditions at the minute, but it is what it is. And all the time the parabolic SARs are coming down because obviously the volume's going down. But at least we're not in any trade, thanks to the trend line not being green and being patient and cautious. See lots of spikes above volume of candles and below, so there's a lots of indecision going on. But we're here lying in wait. Technically, the next trade I take after a buy, if a buy doesn't work out, it's going to be a sell, because that's the way it goes: buy, sell, sell up there. But we have to wait and see how this little bit of action here develops. We are technically in a sell bias because the purple line is way up here. So it's a deep sell that's going on. So, and we've got all these major, well, I'm not saying major, but points of interest where price, if the volume is right, price has to bounce or break. These areas here, these are drawn up on the 4-hour time frame. So would I want to be taking a sell knowing that we are already in a deep sell? The price is going to do what it's going to do, and if the powers that be want to take it down here, they certainly will. But they've got a long way to find that imbalance, which they might do later on today. So really, as of now, my best scenario would be for me is to look for this buy alert, and hopefully that develops into a more substantial buy alert for me to take, because of all these hurdles down here. But we are here ready and waiting. And I can't take a trade until price gets to envelop these parabolic SARs, forcing the parabolic SAR down. We've got a green trend line. By then, when price is up there, by then the wave would have turned green, if it ever does get up there. And I think really, because we are on a deep sell, that I would be happy to, if we do have a sell alert, I'm going to be prudent, because this month has been tricky. And one of the reasons for this tricky month could be the fact that the financial year ends in the first week in April. And that means that business budgets, personal budgets are running out around about now. So if they're running out now and they're waiting for the start of the financial year, there's no money being ploughed in to anything till they start their financial year again at the beginning of April. So it makes sense to, and we're seeing this in practical terms by all this sideways movement, more than usual. I always knew this would be the case, but you don't really know from year to year how bad that scenario will be. You just haven't got any facts and figures to tell you what business budgets like is as a whole, so you wouldn't know. So you don't have, and we are trading on the minute, but we still rely on volume and being out of consolidation to help us with our trading. But practically this last week, we've had days where we've had no trades, and me anticipating where the trend's going to be till we check the trade. And it's more akin to gambling than usual. Although we're just anticipating where the trend's going to be. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, because of this lack of volume, basically, that's causing all this. And the lack of volume could be, like, we've got a sell alert now. Because I know we're on a deep sell, and being cautious, I don't want to risk losing anybody's equity. So I'm going to paper trade this because I'm not too happy with this, all these points of interest that I know, and the fact we're already in a deep sell because we're so far away from the purple line. I mean, here it's not so far, so that would have been a lot better scenario. But down here, we've already had a deep sell, and we were luckily you would have got a 2-to-1. But I don't know. I'm quite happy to paper trade this bit because I don't want to. All I'm seeing over the last few days is consolidation, and are just as much as anybody else, I want to protect people's equity, which is very important. So I'm quite happy to learn from this myself, and because this is a you wait and see. It'll go right down now. I don't know, because all these hurdles here. We're on a deep sell already. That's what I'm seeing, and we've got all these hurdles. So with all the shenanigans that have been going on the last few days, I'd rather be safe than sorry. So I'm going to make no apologies, really. I'm going to paper trade this. So really the trend's down there, so I'd probably get in there, and I put my stop loss on the trend. My 2-to-1 would be there in between those. See me pips, 21. Yep, that's 2 pips, so that's good. So that's where I would have placed the trade, but we've got this hurdle that I consider quite a big hurdle, and also we are in a deep sell because of the purple line there, and because of what I've seen over the last few days, because of what I've just told you, I am quite happy just to paper trade this and not actually trade it on my MT4. Let's see what it does on this line. It'll be interesting. because we're on the minute time frame, and these look pretty big. In reality, that is like 2 pips, and that's another 2 pips, which really in the scheme of things ain't much. And also it's causing imbalance here. And look how deep and the pattern of the parabolic SAR, how steep the volume went. Is it sustainable in my experience and my opinion? As of now, I'd be more happy to watch than take the trade and gain a little bit of knowledge for myself, really. So I make no apologies not taking the trade, because we haven't lost anybody any money. I haven't lost myself any money. And if I'm proved wrong, well, we've all got an education. We all have a watching brief out of it. I'll be much happier taking a buy when the conditions are right, rather than continuing on this deep sell. Because of all of these, well, we've got past the 1 barrier, so technically we haven't got another barrier at the moment, and you wait and see. It's gonna get a 2 to 1. But you know, being cautious. Hope you appreciate the fact I am a cautious trader. I mean, it's own personal opinion whether you think I'm too cautious or not cautious enough. Everybody's different with their how cautious they are. But that really was I will revisit this support and resistance line in a minute. Well, I could do that now, couldn't I, actually? And right, okay, so as there we go. Made me look a chump. Not really, because I'm not in a trade, so just being cautious. And and the conditions over the last few days, especially of what I've been trading and seeing all this consolidation, has made me not nervous, but appreciate that this time of the year is the end of business budgets. So it all ties up and makes logical sense to me that there isn't that much money, much volume floating around in the market, because it's the end of the business budget for most businesses, because their financial year starts at the beginning of April after Easter. So what I've witnessed over the past few days with the consolidation made me a bit more wary about taking trades because of that. And I'm prepared to protect my equity. Again, you talk to another trader, they might have a different view on that, but that's my own view at this time. So I'll show you why that line had become that line, basically. If I go to take off the indicators, go to the 4 hourly time frame. Because what I'm seeing here also, we're on the 4-hourly time frame now. Let's get rid of this for a minute over there. What I'm seeing here is all this imbalance. So price needs to go up. And if I change that over to a line chart, remember this line here? Well, over here, as we can see, look, this line here has been support once, support twice, and kind of resistance there as well, but that was a while ago. So that's why that qualifies as a quite a hurdle, and also there as well on the 4-hourly time frame. So that's why that qualifies as quite a hurdle for price to get over. But that was some time ago. But that's all the data I've got to go on as of then. So that's why that line went there. That's why I was cautious. But as you can see, it went through it. So back onto but we still have all this imbalance to be rectified, and indeed this is imbalance here as well that we know needs to be filled at some stage. So I'm seeing really good reasons why price should go up and indeed not down. This is all in balance here. Sell in balance, so I'll make that right. Settings, sell. There we go. This is all in balance on the 4-hourly time frame. So and so there's very genuine reasons why price would want to go up. And indeed, it is going up now. I appreciate that we would have got our 2-to-1, but I really was worried about these support and resistance lines for the reasons I said, and also seeing all this imbalance up here. I need no, so therefore that's why I thought with the consolidation that we've seen, I have no I have less respect that volume will indeed come into the market. But as you see, that was a perfectly good trade. But I haven't lost any money. Well, following the rules, I would have got me 2-to-1. But hey ho. I'd rather be out of a trade wishing I was in than in a trade wishing I was out. So we are going to be waiting for a buy, because that's the next alert we can possibly have is a buy, which is a better scenario because of all these imbalances up here. And if it carries on selling, so be it. It's the way it is. Like I say, I'm not making any apologies for protecting my equity. And hopefully you guys are getting a bit of education into the bargain by seeing what I'm seeing. You either agree with it or you don't. At the end of the day, it's all opinions. But it's opinions based on being a trader for so long as I have. So, and depending on how quick you were to get your 2-to-1, technically we would have got in somewhere on this candle because it went red there. So, but then again, if you were late to the party and you didn't get until down there because you was a little bit late, which happens, your 2-to-1 would be there and now you'd be like sweating. Well, no, that's a physical reaction. We don't want anybody to do that. But yeah, so. And maybe if you was quick to the party, you got in there, which means you're 2-to-1. Well, no, you wouldn't. Sorry, because we legislate for 2 pips, and that's only so really technically, yeah, there. That's the quickest you could have got in. 2 pips from the stop loss. So which means your 2-to-1 would have been there. So they even then you would have got in a lot quicker. But you know, we're not robots. An AI possibly would have done that. But a human being, reaction times aren't as quick. So that's why I said down there on the next candle, which is a logical human response. So that means your 2-to-1 would be there. And as you can see, we would have got that trade. But I was seeing, like I said before, just explaining my actions. I'd rather be out of a trade wishing I was in than in a trade wishing I was out. And there's been quite a long times this month that I've been in trades wishing I was out because we go into consolidation, which mucks you up a bit. And now we're in consolidation again. And we had all these barriers that I marked out for myself, and they were pretty big hurdles that I could see because we had on the 4-hour time frame, we have 2 points or more coming down and supporting and resisting these lines. And that was just before we had the sell. And what I saw here with the buy, stalling, doesn't fill me with great confidence to take that sell trade from everything I've seen down here and all the imbalance I'm seeing up here. So that's why I didn't take the trade. Much happier just to show you guys and have a watching brief. Saving my equity. So I don't make any apologies for that. If you're in a situation where you are trading because you really need the money at the end of the month to pay the mortgage or anything like that, I'm sorry, but trading's not for you because you shouldn't be trading with that sort of mindset. Be patient. Just accept price will do what it's going to do, and we trade what we see, not what we think. But now there's no volume, it's purely gone into consolidation. I'd be a lot more confident taking a buy alert if we get one. But just here, we have red flag German news at 9 o'clock. And maybe we've gone into this consolidation until such time as this news hits. That's the only problem with that. We don't know. Maybe they've got a bit of inkling what the news is going to be. Is it going to be more bad news for the euro? Is it going to be slightly better news? They might know this. In actual fact, we could do that, because we will. I go there, then I go to Forex Factory, go down to Friday, 9 o'clock. Well, on my Forex Factory, sorry, my FX book, if I show you that, it calls it up as a, where are we now? We're on Friday at, hang on, at, there we go. We have high impact news at 9 o'clock for the euro. So it says high impact on my FX book, but on my Forex Factory, it's only marked down as orange. So there's a bit of a conflict there of interest. But if you notice, we've got red flag news all day, the Euro summit. So therefore, they are reacting on what people say at the Euro summit. So we've got that scenario again. But we've got this orange flag news, German info business climate. So let's just check that and see what that says. It's a level of composite index based on surveyed manufacturers, builders, wholesalers, services, and retailers. But it's only in German, so it's only one small part of the euro. But although the German financial authority is the biggest in Europe, so that tells you all about what that is. So you can disseminate that later on today. Let's go back to the charts where we should be. And right, okay, so we're seeing a deeper sell take place. But I am still happy that I'm okay with that, not taking that trade. Some may say I'm overly cautious, but don't forget, I am mindful of the fact that you guys are following me. And although I always say this is for educational purposes only, which it is, I am mindful of the fact that you guys, some of you take trades when I take trades. And I don't want to be, so I'm cautious for you guys as well as myself. So I'm quite happy to see that scenario play out. And now we've got even deeper sell going on. But this is hindsight. We're not to know that. I always trade what I see, not what I think. But now, as you can see, we are price had a little rest with a little bit of consolidation. It could have been resting to say, right, where's the volume to take up to fill out these imbalances up here and here, and get back to our favorite place, the purple line. But in this scenario, they just took a breather to carry on with the volume down. But we, like I said, we're not to know that at the time. But thanks to our simple system, I often wonder whether it's worth my while pointing these areas out, because I'm all about invest in finding out why price does what I think is why it does what it does, by watching all these support and resistance lines and imbalance. And in my view, if you can find out and determine why price does what it does sometimes, you internally gain more confidence and less panicky about your actions in the future. So it's 8:37 here in the UK. I'm going to upload this video, even if we don't take a trade. Put it into our Facebook group, and then we will do that. Well, I'm waiting for a buy alert now, but I'm conscious of the fact that we have German news, high impact news, it's called, at that time at 9 o'clock. And that is going to, I feel, mess the party up a bit, really, because that will influence price. See this support and resistance line now, even though we have the volume to go through it, it acted as resistance there, and it's doing the same a little bit there. So these are important areas price to sort of respect. And indeed, the same scenario happened there where price came down and got our 2-to-1, but it did respect that support and resistance line a bit. Not a lot, I grant, but it did respect it and come back down again. It respected it, not in the way we thought it was going to do, because it had enough volume to go through it. So I'm going to give it 5 more minutes if we do get a buy, because I am worried about this 9 o'clock high impact news, which will definitely alter the course of the price action. But how good or how bad or how insignificant it will be, we don't know until it actually happens. But then again, just like here, there is an argument to say, like, just like here, should I have acted mechanically purely on the the cellular, red wave, red volume ribbon, red trend line. Should I have just acted on that and ignored all this? It's a tough call for me because I've always gone off price action and support and resistance lines and stuff like that, and waiting for extra confirmations. And like I said before, I'm quite happy to be out of a trade wishing I was in rather than being in a trade wishing I was out. But now we've got a buy alert. And so I'm quite happier with a buy alert because of the deep sell we've been having for such a long time. But I'm mindful of the fact that, well, technically, if you're in FTMO, 2 minutes before and 2 minutes after, you're not allowed to trade anyway. So wherever we are at 8:58, we will act accordingly. Right, so back to TradingView. Oh, sorry, back to MT4. Put my lines on. Technically, if that turns green, the wave turns green, that's where the stop loss will be. We've got the buy alert. Of course, we've got to wait for the trend line to turn green. Where are we on TradingView? And like I say, we've got this, it acted as resistance there, so it wants to say it wouldn't do it again, act as resistance. But we've got a long way to go yet anyway. Well, I say long way, it's not a long way, but we'll just keep on MT4 and see what happens. Noting that just up here we have imbalance that needs to be filled. So that's in our favor as well. So we're waiting for the wave to turn green, the trend line to turn green, which you could do. I mean, we have a big candle like that, for example, for a buy. Within the space of a minute, price could be up here and away we go. But they might be holding back because of the news at 9 o'clock. Depending on the severity of the news, we don't really know. Well, we've been told it's high impact, so I guess we must go with that. So rather a strange scenario for me today, because technically we should all be 2% for the weekend, and but you know, sometimes trading is based on very small decisions, either going in favor or against. Sometimes it's like that. It's not all straightforward. Although the technical red, red, red for a sell, green, green, green for a buy takes out a very, very big majority of your guesswork. and your technical ability to be able to trade. And that may be part of my problem. I think I know too much. I've been doing this too long, so therefore I see these support and resistance lines, and it makes me more cautious probably more cautious as a trader, I guess. It is what it is. I am what I am. Don't worry, I'm not going to break out in song. But I'm happy about that because I haven't lost any money. And hopefully you gained a bit of experience, maybe. But now we're waiting for a little bit more of a volume push because the wave has just started to turn green. Oh, it's going the other way again now. Let's zoom up there. That's it. Oh, that's better. Bit of a bigger screen. Oh, right, okay. Take the line a bit off for the minute. See, it's come down to take out all these small imbalances here. There's imbalances here as well. So again, our indicator is keeping us out of trade because we know it did get a green trend line. And indeed, the wave has started to turn red now. So with the fact that high impact news will be in another 12 minutes time, and everything I've seen today, technically we won a 2-1, but as you see, I didn't trade it for the reasons I explained. I hope you understand that. So we're going to leave it there, and I'll see you guys next week. Have a great weekend, and thank you very much for being on today. And you didn't lose any money. That's the main thing. So thanks very much for your support, and have a great weekend. We'll see you all next week. Cheers for now. Bye.